We've got everything's recording.
Everything is recording.
Everything is recording. Todos. Todos.
Yeah, see. We've got some quite different energy here today, considering you have an amazing looking tan and you're in Valencia.
Valencia, sí. Or Toria.
And ¿qué barrio en Valencia?
Ruzafa.
Ah, Ruzafa, el mejor.
Yeah, sí, mejor.
But
Le Marcha, you know? La Marcha.
Yeah. Sí.
Es bien. Vale. Yeah.
Venga.
But, you know, I just got here. I could, because I've been before, of course, and for everyone listening, we can't play the song because that involves some kind of extra.
I don't have that type of technology or technical know-how yet. But the more of these European trips you take, I might have to figure some of this shit out.
Also, the sound. We just figured out the sound for the last episode on... Are you original sound for musicians on or off right now?
On.
Yeah,
on.
But now I'm using different headphones. It could have fucked it for everyone listening. I could be really loud. Do you think... I think I'm really loud.
No, you don't... Well, it's hard to say because I turned my headphones everything's fucked up completely now. I'm sure of that.
Maybe.
My gain's all changed.
Your gain
I didn't
staging?
change my gain. No, I didn't change my gain. But I was gonna say different energy because you're tanned, you're sun kissed in Valencia, whereas I'm Libra season's full fall toucan
2.0.
Yeah, like it's different. It's cold here now. So
Yeah,
I'm like
it's 30
flannel
degrees.
and toque already overnight.
It's 30 degrees here today.
Yeah.
Cloudy though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what are you going to do tonight? Head over to the George Best Rock Club?
Well,
Not in Ruzafa, but...
It's close, though. I was thinking about it.
You can walk there.
I kind of might have made a bit of a bad decision because this Airbnb is fine. It's very small, but, you know, and I'm by myself, so I was like, whatever. But, you know, you should never book an Airbnb looking at your bank balance.
Why?
Well, because it's like, I was like, yeah, I'll be fine. I'm going to, a couple of days in Valencia, I'll go running. I'll you know, I know the city. I want to be in that neighborhood. And then I'm like, I should have just got a really nice place and just not thought about it. You know what I mean?
Right. Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah.
Like, it's fine, but I should have got a place that I was like, I want to be in, a vista, you know, all that kind of stuff. But I've had those the last 2 weeks, so.
Well, there you go. And there's not really, unless the beach is far.
I'm going to start, apparently, this is Welcome to Impossible Way of Life, your tourism and backpacking podcast.
Yeah.
I met someone in Mallorca from Valencia who said that's the zone now. It's coming.
Yeah, I 100%. Like when we were living there, I said to Alex, like, if you were smart, you'd buy a place down here. Because it was literally a slum.
Yeah.
Like you'd walk around and it was like chickens running all over the road and stuff like that.
Fishermen were living there.
Yeah, and it was like just apartments everywhere, like that looked, you know, beaten up. And I was like, the beach is across the street. In Valencia, I was like, this. If you had money and you just spent 50,000 euros on an apartment here or something, like I'm sure, because that was like what 6 years ago. So yeah, it doesn't make sense to me. Since COVID, they probably cleaned it up, tuned it all up down there.
Well, it's everywhere becomes the same. That's what you kind of start to notice the more you travel around. Everything's just one big city, and you can go to a coffee shop that looks like the coffee shop in your local neighbor. You know, oh, this is good. This place is good. You get an Americano and a bagel with avocado on it, and then you're like, wait a minute, I'm in Granada. Like, they shouldn't be doing this.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah, exactly. Tim Hortons or something.
That's big. Tim Hortons is big in Spain.
They have Tim Hortons there?
Tim Hortons.
Shut up.
They do.
What?
They do.
Really? I have no way.
Yeah, donuts.
Do they even have it in the United States?
In like Columbus. In like the Midwest, I think they have it.
Listen to this. I just had a good idea for you.
Okay.
You know who I was messaging with the other day?
Tell me.
Mike from Drug Dealer. Like the guy who is Drug Dealer, the leader of Drug Dealer.
The leader of the pack.
band.
Yeah.
The leader of the band, because he moved to Valencia.
What?
Yeah.
He's
and he
here.
put some... he put something on Instagram that was like, I just moved to Valencia. Any recommendations for like restaurants or blah, blah, blah. Okay. And so I messaged him and I was like, yeah, I used to live there, and we chatted a bit. I met him once before he came to a show I played. But it's funny. You should write him, and you guys should go get a beer. I'm
sure exactly what he needs is a fucking West Coast hipster to hang around with and talk about a Neil Young discography ranking.
I think he'd like that.
Maybe we could go.
He's that kind of guy. He just likes to talk about music. Big talk. He likes to talk like you and I do.
George Best.
You should. You should. He's a cool guy. Nice.
This is a place that you told me last time I came here to go to.
George Best Rock Club. That's where Alex and I used to go drink, because they just play like they play records a lot, and they'd play like Stones and stuff, and people. And I saw a few shows there, a few local artists.
I think I've probably said this on the podcast before, but you lived here and you've spent a lot of time in Spain. But it's amazing, and I don't know the reason. I like to think it's because of Franco and the fact that it was a military dictatorship until like the 80s. But their like understanding of music, popular music, Beatles to punk, basically from Beatles to punk, is really confusing. So like, because they didn't maybe experience it as freely. At least I'm just making this up. I have nothing to back this up at all. This is my conjecture. They didn't experience it freely. So the people who mostly experienced it were afterwards. So everything's just kind of a bit messed up. Yeah. Like when I was in Mallorca, I was telling my friends, we got to find a rock club because they're particularly weird in Spain.
Well, Mallorca, because you're only going to really get like dance music out there.
No. It's not just like, it's Balearic, but it's not. Palma itself is like, it's really.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah. It's not like that.
I just thought all the islands like that, people just go to party.
No, but we went to a place here in Palma called Honky Tonk, and it was like, it kind of made sense. Like they were like had like Iggy on the wall, and like David Bowie, but then also like Spider-Man's there for some reason, and then like just like Michelin tires poster.
Well, that's kind of
truck
like
stop,
man cave truck stop kind of stuff. Marlboro Lights, Miller High Life.
But then
Americana
George Best,
culture.
and then George Best like is an iconic rock and roll footballer. But it doesn't really blend with like Sid Vicious.
No.
So
I hear what you're saying, but. Yeah. Well, anyway, that was pretty much the only spot that we found at all in Valencia that played rock and roll music.
Yeah, of course. Well, I might go there tonight. I might walk over.
Maybe La Fenestra.
La Fenestra's,
the pizza place. They kind of, it's more of a kind of like
you
the
mean
foundation.
The hipster? I've been there. I went there last time, but it's like $2 for a pizza. A lot of skateboarders,
and you don't get to choose what kind of pizza. They give you little mini pizzas and a beer, wine. It's a great spot. Kind of the foundation.
Yeah,
for those of you who remember that in Vancouver.
Yeah. That came up the other day. The foundation. This is just going to be mostly us. Talking.
Well, I haven't talked to you.
This is the longest I think I've not talked to you in about 5 years.
Me too. It was really weird. I actually got a bit depressed yesterday.
Yeah, me too. I've been depressed.
And I realized that it was like, because the podcast is a bit therapeutic for me.
Yeah.
It was like a bit of and I was like, had all these things to say, and Chris Christopherson died.
Yeah, sorry about that.
And like Neil, and all this stuff.
Well, Neil
and I was like,
didn't die. He just...
No, he didn't die.
He's still
But
alive.
I was like thinking a lot about Neil. And like, I was also sick for a week. Which was like...
It sounds like it's fall. It's fall.
Yeah, everyone went to that A La Las concert and got sick. Like everyone who went.
The music, potent.
Yeah. And
Maybe.
Alex got it, which sucked. And like, just parenting and doing things like that. So I was a bit less sort of like the weather changing and then I was like, oh yeah, like I kind of have a lot of shit to say and no one to say it to, because Alex was like, she's like, I don't want to hear this shit about Neil Young, about Harvest, and who cares?
I would like you to tell me, because I'm a bit kind of absent to Chris Christopherson as a person and as a musician and just kind of what he represented. So maybe you could eulogize him just for my benefit.
I will. Well, probably the best way to describe him.
I just liked his name. I always thought he had a
is
cool
like
name.
the coolest motherfucker that ever lived, really, as far as I'm concerned. Guy grew up in the United States. He was a brilliant writer, even in high school. Wrote essays that got published in magazines and won loads of local awards. Grew up in Texas. And then he went, he got a Rhodes Scholarship to Oxford in England, where he went and got a degree in English literature. It's really cool. Could like recite Blake from William Blake from memory and kind of cool stuff like that. But his family was
cool. That's cool.
Well, like I think if you're him,
like
it's
Morrissey.
cool because he's kind of like a bad boy too.
Yeah,
you know. I think if you mix it with bad boy energy, it's cool.
Okay,
if you can like beat because he was also like a Golden Gloves boxer. Like a great football player, great rugby player. So he's kind of like this Renaissance man, real you know. But his family was a military family, so when he went back to the States, he was expected to be in the Army. Like it was like, this is what you do in our. Was
he wealthy?
His parents were all military. His dad was like moved around, military family.
Yeah.
So I don't know what that. You know, I don't know how much money they had. That
doesn't feel. That's not like
so he enlisted
or something.
No, full scholarship to school and all that. So he enlisted, and he was a helicopter pilot. Served, you know, not in Vietnam. Weirdly, I don't think it was like very heavy service. Like he was stationed in West Germany in the early 60s.
Right.
Was there a conflict happening there?
No, but it was a huge base because of the subdivision of Germany between. There was a huge American military presence there.
Yeah, so basically, and then so this is how, like, kind of cool he was. So, like, he came back and got offered to be a professor or to teach at West Point, which is the military university and one of the top schools, I think, in the States, like, even though it is, you know, a military school. And he was like, no, I want to be a songwriter. And his family disowned him because he didn't want to continue his military career.
Okay.
And he, even with a degree from Oxford, military experience, all that kind of stuff, he just moved to Nashville and got a job at Columbia Recording Studios, cleaning out the ashtrays, and just wanted to write songs. And famously, Blonde on Blonde was being recorded there, and he like just soaked up all he could. And then he just started writing songs and went on from there. And in my opinion, is, you know, definitely, I don't like to say the greatest this, the greatest that really anymore, but I would say definitely top 5 country songwriters that ever lived. And had a way with lyrics, particularly a way that I would like to say, I heard someone quote it and I thought it was really good, that was like, that he said things in a way that they were literal but eloquent.
Right.
Which I thought was really cool. He could like say something with 1-syllable words in a line of a song that could just knock your socks off, and in that kind of country way, but also just really cool. And then of course a great actor.
Did he write for other people
as well?
More than himself?
No, it was more like he did his own stuff, and everybody wanted to sing his songs because they were so good. So he was just a very covered guy,
right?
You know. And then also a great actor. Went out to Hollywood to do a show at the Troubadour, his first ever show, like that was like anything. Got a great review, and isn't this so cool to think of Hollywood in 1970? And there were all these movie people at the show that were like, "Hey, you should be in movies. You got a great look." And he was like, "I don't know anything about acting," and they were like, "Don't worry about it." And they just did it.
Do you think you need to really understand how acting works to be an actor?
No, not really. I don't think so. He was kind of like, he just learned along the way, is like what he said. But
like OJ.
Pretty much. OJ's a great actor.
Clearly.
Yeah.
Yeah. He managed to convince the world.
A whole country. Yeah.
Well,
but
that's
anyway,
cool, man. I really don't know much about Chris Christopherson, and I think that sometimes speaks to which we said before, how wonderful music is, that there's always more to discover.
Yeah, I mean...
Like, does he have records? Are there records?
Oh, damn.
No,
dude,
but are there, like, is there a record?
I mean, I like... look, I have 3 albums that I think are front-to-back amazing albums that are Border Lord, Jesus Was a Capricorn, and The Silver-Tongued Devil and I. And I mean, they're not. It's country music, right? So it's like it's not like where it's like hit after hit after hit. You just throw it on, and all the songs are fucking badass. You know, it's like, oh man, it's like you hear a line, you're like, how the hell did he? You know, like listen to this line, like about just guys, like party guys. You know, like. See him wasted on the sidewalk in his jacket and his jeans, wearing yesterday's misfortunes like a smile. Once he had a future full of money, love, and dreams that he spent like they were going out of style.
That's good stuff.
You know? It's like, and they're all like that. He's just like, he's like a bard style, like he just, and on top of that.
Writing within as well, like writing within a genre that has rules, so you can you're like, what's the word, like you have a frame that you have to work within.
And he every melody pretty much sounds the same, like to me, because he only knows about 4 chords, but
and the truth.
Yeah, but I could listen to about 50 of his songs in a row and be far more entertained than listening to like one Emerson, Lake and Palmer album or something.
What about listening to Harvest?
Well, yeah, that's the thing. And I mean, Willie Nelson said, like, he's the best of us. And he's like, every song he writes is a standard. And that's something that we all just have to kind of live with. So, like, he was very well respected, you know. But anyway, I was sad because he's been like kind of a hero of mine for a long time. Like,
was he
just
old?
Like a person, 88.
It's pretty good.
Yeah, just somebody that I just think is cool to have around, and somebody who, like, I know that I'm nothing like, but is a good sort of like, you know, that's a good way to be. Humble, the way he was in every way. It was like a cool way to like live your life and be kind to people, and he was always on the right side of.
Was he within a community of other people, or was he? So, you know, because I know obviously like with Pat Garrett and stuff.
Yeah, all the in the movie side of things, all that, but he's famously, like, you know, they did the Highwaymen in the 80s. Him, Johnny Cash, Willie Nelson, and Waylon Jennings, like kind of their Traveling Wilburys. Yeah. So I think he was with those guys. He was with the outlaw guys, the Texas guys who kind of did things. The hippie country singers, you know,
cosmic
he was like
country.
Yeah, kind of, but it's outlaw. It's more like hippie country. It's not like California so much, you know?
Yeah.
Like, they were still country singers, but they were like, Nashville doesn't want us because we're a little rough around the edges. Because
we wear New Balance sneakers.
Yeah, and bell-bottoms. Exactly, sure.
Sneakers. Well, like what's his name? Who's the guy who... Sturgill Simpson or something? No.
Yeah, he's his buddy. He's his buddy.
Yeah?
Yeah,
That's the kind of lineage.
Yeah.
Partial 100%. Lineage.
100%.
Stapleton?
Whereas Stapleton, I think he'd blend in. Whereas the guys like, you know, like the more new country guys like Toby Keith, and like those kind of guys, they're more like coming out of the uptight, lame Nashville style of things, where it's like, you know, everything's has to be right wing. You don't talk politics. You just do the thing. You know what I mean? Whereas Willie and Waylon and
what about George Jones?
Well, he's Nashville, but he's pretty old school. Like
he's older.
Like he's older guard. Like he's like early 60s. Like he continuing on, but he's more like he's pre-Willie and stuff, you know.
Kenny Rogers?
No, you know who is in their crew is Roger Miller. Okay. He's cool.
That's funny that you talk. Roger Miller to me is a completely different person. Roger Miller is the guy who scored Cameroon's first goal against Argentina in Italia 90. Completely different.
Different Roger
We grew
Miller.
up in different places, and now I'm extremely European now I'm back here.
Right, of course.
So that's what I'm thinking about.
Yeah. Anyway, we'll just say rest in peace, via con Dios to Mr. Christopherson.
For sure, dude.
And
so fucking true.
And also on and also the one thing I wanted to say about him is, to me, there's only 3 lyricists that, well, really 2. I put Randy Newman in there sometimes, but he's so satirical and
he's never telling the truth as he's doing a bit.
But there's there's three actually that are Leonard Cohen, Chris Christopherson, and Ray Davies.
They're your boys.
That are the only guys that they say a lyric in the most obvious way.
Yeah.
And then I think about it and I'm like, Jesus, how the hell did you think of that? Mm-hmm. You know? Whereas John Lennon and Paul and these guys, the lyrics are incredible. But I listen to them and I'm like, maybe if I sat in a room for months, I could probably come up with a lyric.
Paul's not a lyricist.
Yeah. No, not really. Not really.
He's a goofball. And sometimes you don't want it. You can't listen to Leonard Cohen all day.
No, you can't. You can't.
It's too much.
You can't.
He's talking about card games and stuff, and it's really intense, and it's
yeah.
You know?
Yeah, Leonard Cohen can be all day, can be intense. But
well, you'd be a different guy.
Sometimes you want Paul McCartney doing Monkberry Moon Delight, you know?
I'd say I want that 7 out of 10. And I'll take Mother by John Lennon 3 out of 10. Monkberry Moon Delight 7.
Paul just kicked off his new tour, by the way, in Uruguay. And just so everybody knows, Now and Then is on the set list.
Oh, and then Ringo just cancelled his because he's sick again.
Oh, no.
He did.
No.
Ringo...
Well, at least he got a few shows in.
I don't know if he did.
I saw a video of him dancing
playing
with
to
a little help
15
from my sense.
people.
He's probably doing River Rock Casino style venues.
We should check if he was going to play south of the border.
I think he had something going at the Tulalip.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
Emerald Queen.
Yeah, that's normally where it kind of.
It's fine for me. I saw the great Smokey Robinson there. Had a great time. Played a little, roulette afterwards.
Yeah.
Buffet breakfast.
This wasn't the Gasms tour, was it?
No, unfortunately, I wanted to see him on the Gasms tour, but he didn't make it up. It was just more of a legacy kind of.
Yeah.
I've seen him twice. Amazing stuff.
Does he have 3 other singers with him?
Smokey?
Yeah, no. Miracles maybe. Kind of vibe,
he might have had some backup singers.
You presume, because it's when Brian Wilson does it, he always has the guys to fill in the roles.
Well, no, Smokey can say the voice is still there.
No, but I mean, he needs this harmonies,
Oh yeah, I think he had some backup singers. Yeah,
that's my dream,
Yeah,
that's my dream.
Backup for Smokey Robinson.
No, well, I mean that's unquestionably my dream.
Yeah,
but imagine just being you're in your lane, you're in your vocal range.
Yeah,
you have a keen understanding of harmony. You're just sitting there and you're just behind someone who's crushing every night.
I've been craving that too.
Just imagine being told okay, yeah, you just here's the harmony and it's just it's pretty easy. And Smokey's crushing out there and you're just singing. You just don't do anything other than sing. That line, don't change, and then for the next 2 minutes, just kind of do this little dance. You got this little move.
Restraint. Give me a tambourine or don't.
No, what I mean. You don't get a tambourine.
If you want me to play it, I will. Otherwise, I won't. It's fine.
This isn't a Joe Layla moment. There's no need. This is purely. There's a lot of money going around. Even post COVID, Smokey he'll bring, especially if it's Motown adjacent. They're bringing. You can't play tambourine. No one can play tambourine like that.
Well, I know that.
First of all, you need to know how a skin works on a tambourine.
Yeah, I know.
No, we can't even buy those tambourines. They don't make them anymore.
Yeah.
As far as I'm concerned.
I know the ones with the skin. I've got one back here. Hard as hell to play.
Terrifying.
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 It is. Yeah, it is.
And so I think no, you don't. You're not playing tambourine. Your other job, other than singing occasionally, is a little coordinated dance with the other guys, the other fellas.
Maybe. Yeah, I don't even know how big a crew they've got. If you need me to help load out, that's fine too. You know what I mean? I'll do whatever
for sure.
it takes.
You might have to do that actually. If I think about it,
I'll do whatever it takes.
Yeah, that's maybe where
collapse some cymbal stands, whatever you need.
That would be on your resume that you understand how to pack up a drum kit.
I do. A hi-hat clutch. I know how to put a hi-hat. A lot of people don't know how that works.
I don't. I've been touring for 20 years. I have no fucking idea. I'm not going anywhere near that stuff. It's horrible.
I've been thinking this myself. I'm actually after years
considering being a roadie.
No, just not a roadie, but like if there's anyone out there listening who just needs a guy in their band for a tour, I'll play anything.
Of course.
I just want to get out there and support your music. I've been singing and doing all this shit forever.
It's horrible.
I just want to play bass, rhythm, guitar, acoustic. I'll be like just in the background playing acoustic.
It's well known amongst
restraint.
It's well known. Those who know this. It's very well known. When it comes to rhythm guitar, one name, Johnny Payne.
Oh, thanks, buddy. Thank you.
One name.
I like playing rhythm guitar. If you need a rhythm guitarist, this is what I really like to do a lot.
Yeah.
So if anybody's got a tour, they're like, somebody bailed last minute, I could probably hop on a plane, be in Minneapolis in about 6 hours.
And I'll drive there in 13.
I'll drive during the day, not after the gig. I don't really like that.
You might have to work on that.
Beers.
You might have to work on that.
Yeah, I might have to work on that, or I might.
If you're trying to get these indie gigs now, you're gonna have to work on it.
You gotta drive after the show.
Yeah. Well, you have to split it up.
Yeah, that's fine. I'll split it up.
Hopefully, the only way around that is hopefully you've got someone who's AA or NA.
Yeah, that's what you want.
These
days, good bet. These days,
if you're still playing at our age, there's probably one of them.
I know.
That can sort of take on that role.
Yeah, yeah. But, I just want to play music. I'm happy to do that, too. I've been feeling that lately, man. Like just
big fan of A. You like A? Blues in A. A chords.
Oh, yeah.
Key.
Yeah, I like
Well,
A.
you can also play in B.
Good rhythm guitar. Oh, fuck. Name your chord, dude. Name your key. I can do it. You know what's funny about that? I used to have... whenever I used to sell a guitar on Craigslist, I used to always say, can play any song.
Yeah.
I used to like to write that. This guitar can play any song. It's true.
It's not necessarily true, though.
It is.
No, because there is some kind of... if you're in kind of Cliffs of Dover mentality... It's been souped up. There's some performance enhancement going on.
Yeah, I know, but I'll tell you what. You give Eric Johnson my old fucking Washburn 6-string, he'll play Cliffs of Dover on.
Maybe Johnson could do it.
But that's what I'm saying. It's possible. I'm not saying I can do it.
It's probable.
It's probable.
It's probable that he could. I don't know if he. What's the action? What was the action like on your Washburn?
It was a little high.
High. For hammer, could you hammer?
He'd play you something that sounded a hell of a lot like Cliffs of Dover. Yeah. Okay?
I'm thinking more about kind of sustain. We had a big sustain moment.
This is not a tone. I'm just saying, you know what I mean? It's like you got an old beat up honky tonk piano down at the George Best Rock Club saloon in the corner.
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe you're not going to sound like fucking Chopin, but you can play Chopin.
No, fuck, you're going to sound like... we haven't even talked about this. This has reminded me. The only thing you do on a beat up, the only thing anyone aspires to do on a beat up old piano, if it's not Scott Joplin, is Tom Waits.
Yeah, well, that's what people go to. Yeah,
who we've not even. We might have, but this is because we've not spoken for a couple of weeks. Mm-hmm. You will livid. John Lennon being a verse singer. Have we talked about this?
Oh, God.
This is going back a couple of weeks now.
Well, everybody who listens to this podcast is well aware of the East Coast, West Coast massive rivalry between the two Sams, Sam Blasucci and Sam Evian.
Yeah.
And I'm going to go out here on I'm sorry if I'm sort of putting you out here, but I know Sam Burton. The other West Coast Sam.
Yeah, he's there.
Also, he's on the West Coast side of this.
Yeah. You're laying a marker down right now. It's go-off season.
If you're from California, you're on the Blasucci Burton side of things.
Of the Sam debate.
Yeah. Evian is East Coast. And
you know what Evian...
I was kind of...
Listen, Johnny, you know what Evian is backwards, the word?
Naive.
Exactly.
Well, I'll tell you one thing. I didn't really know where to stand on this whole thing. I was kind of like, okay, Sam, take it easy.
Well, you don't have an American mentality. You're from the West Coast. You hang around within that milieu, but you're bringing into it less of a sort of rugged American exceptionalism. You don't have...
I like Tupac
it's a device.
Biggie.
Exactly.
I like them both.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I understand.
I don't want to have to choose. All these guys is no, you Snoop. You either like Snoop or you
have to choose.
Well, I bet they chose the West Coast now after all this Diddy stuff. Those guys are looking bad that they were like, it's all Diddy. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Who was at those parties? Are you saying Sam Evian was at those parties?
I don't know. But anyway, so I was like, oh, that's a good crack into the mic. That sounded good. I wish I could crack one right now, but it's like 10 a.m.
I'm not. Yeah, I got to. And the thing that's beautiful about here, as you know, it's only 8:45 here. It's not even nothing started.
Is anything open?
Not even. It's like nothing's even open.
Anyway, I didn't know where to stand on this whole thing. But then this video was going around of Sam Evian. We're having a little fun here, but covering.
I'd say come on and defend yourself.
Yeah, John Lennon's "Watching the Wheels" doing a version of that song.
It sounded good.
Yeah. Well, he had the slapback effect.
Yeah, and I always like watching him when he's in his kind of Hamptons style hat, like his Catskills house.
He does a lot of good videos.
Yeah, he's good. He's good at curating his indie image for sure.
He's good at it. Yeah, he's good at it.
Well, you have to be these days. He's good on social media.
And the performance sounded good. It was a little bit like maybe he hadn't really he was new to the song.
Maybe it was lacking in the sex and danger and trauma that comes with John Lennon's just general kind of makeup and DNA.
I mean, I only say that from a biased...
No Duende. From
a biased place because that's arguably my favorite John Lennon solo song.
Yeah, and West Coast mentality.
And I sing it all the time myself, so...
Yeah.
But then his caption was what
really bothered you.
Got the attention of a lot of... What was sent to me.
Yeah.
But he said a lot of things in it. But one thing he said is I've always thought of John Lennon as more of a verse guy.
Yeah.
But this one has a good chorus or something. Yeah. And I was like, well, that's interesting. I've never quite heard anyone quite. I've never heard anyone.
But what was, and this kind of gets back to where it's also compartmentalizing these people, which we do on the podcast all the time.
Yeah.
The thing that didn't bother me, I thought about it, and I was like, maybe he doesn't write McCartney style big beefy choruses. The thing that annoyed me was that, and I'm a couple of beers deep, so I'm just gonna. It is go off season.
Go for it.
Is that he referred to John Lennon in the same milieu as Leonard and Tom. No second names. And I was like, okay. And it took me a minute, and I was like, it's got to... I mean, obviously it's Leonard Cohen. And I'm like, Tom?
I think he was saying Lou, because he would say he's kind of spoken
Lou. He said
wordy.
Lou, Leonard, and Tom.
And Tom, yeah. And I thought...
Like Tom's...
I didn't know if he meant Petty or Waits.
Well,
was he thinking of Refugee? How he's like, someone...
It's got to be Tom Waits, hasn't it?
Maybe, probably.
Which annoys me more.
Or Tom T. Hall or something.
Or someone that you're like, if you know... listen, anyone reading this knows.
Yeah.
But also, that's probably just to get people to write in the comments.
Lou, Tom,
My friends, Lou and Tom.
Yeah, exactly. Lou
they
and
know.
Tom. Also,
is Tom in the East Coast? Is Tom East Coast? Feels East Coast.
No. He's West Coast.
Really?
California. Yeah.
Cali style.
Petty though is Florida.
Gainesville.
That
doesn't count
Petty.
though.
No.
I'm going to go and find that post and I'm going to write on it. Who is Tom? It's Tom Waits. It's got to be Tom Waits.
I almost commented
because Petty is Mr. Chorus. I'm just a verse guy, like Jealous Guy.
I almost commented verse guy in quotations from iWall, but anyway, it's out now. But anyway, right off the bat, I could think of a few pretty good choruses John Lennon wrote.
Well, Imagine's pretty good. Give Peace a Chance is a big one.
How about All You Need Is Love?
Decent.
That'll get the soccer stadium rocking.
Yeah.
How about I'm like trying to
might be a verse guy.
Come together right now over me.
Could have done it.
You think he wrote that?
Well, you it's your own.
What about like I want to hold your hand?
Decent chorus.
How about I feel fine? Does that count as a chorus? I'm in love with her and I feel... That's a chorus.
What about like Across the Universe?
Yeah. Oh yeah, Jai Guru Deva.
Yeah.
Totally. What about... There's so many. What about... I'm just like... Yeah, because I'm going... How about... you know what's a really good one? Is... Girl.
Girl's a good one.
Oh, good.
You know what else is a good one? Please Please Me.
Please Please Me. Great. Avion would say that's a co-write.
Yeah, I guess so. Well, maybe he wouldn't. What about Just Like Starting Over?
Oh, yeah. Again, though, you know what? He does have kind of a point. He's got kind of a point. He's got kind of a point when I think of some that, like, Help, like, doesn't really have a chorus.
What about Mind Games?
Oh, no. Help, I need somebody. That's the chorus.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
I guess that's the chorus. Mind Games, also kind of verse and chorus is the same thing.
Jealous Guy is a chorus. It is.
That's got a fucking hell of a chorus. Jealous Guy, good one. Imagine no chorus.
But
kind of.
I guess he's saying he doesn't do like a.
It's a middle eight kind of. Yeah,
he's more of a verse guy. You know what? He might be right.
I don't think he's a I just think to pigeonhole him as a verse guy is not quite...
Well, it's also to suggest...
We're talking about one of the greatest songwriters.
Well, I mean, I was going to say, it's almost to suggest you've been deified with the right to even suggest, like, it almost suggests that he's, like, Sam Evian is a chorus. He knows a chorus.
Right.
But then also at the same time, this is what we do on our podcast. And we've been doing it for about 6 years. And this is literally what we do.
Yeah.
You know?
100%.
But I'm starting to think that
I know a chorus when I hear one. That's for sure. You know which one I like? You'd say, I'm putting you on, but it's no joke. I'm doing me harm. That's kind of... Is it a chorus?
What about Happy... I said, like, Happy Christmas War is over.
Oh. Yeah. Kind of just a verse. There's a lot, though. Like, I'm going middle. It's more... I think his choruses really shine around, like...
Whatever Gets You Through the Night?
Yeah.
Versey.
Kind of versey.
Maybe...
And then a bridge. It's like verse and then, like,
well,
kind of
like
chorusy bridge.
Mother is kind of verse, bridge. It's... Yeah.
Bridge, because it's, like, even, like, I'm only sleeping... And then it's like, keeping an eye on the world. Yeah, it's kind of more of a
which
bridge.
Is definitely McCartney wrote that bit.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
So anyway, shout out to Sam.
In my life, no chorus.
Shout out to Sam Evian.
I'm coming around.
Yeah, I'm coming around to it.
Look, I might not say verse guy. I don't know if I'd say that. Because
I didn't mean to hurt you.
That's a chorus.
I didn't mean to make you cry.
That's like one of the best choruses.
I didn't mean I'm just a verse guy.
I'm just a verse guy.
And he's saying that to McCartney.
I was writing down some words.
I was feeling insecure about not writing a chorus.
I only ever write a verse.
Yeah, it's easy.
I was looking for a rhyme.
I was looking for a hook.
Hook. I couldn't find.
I didn't mean to verse you.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, no, we got it.
I'm sorry that it's just a verse.
I couldn't find the rhyme.
Yeah.
I didn't mean.
I'm just a verse guy.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. And
that's what you should have written.
Song.
I'm just a verse guy.
Yeah.
But I don't know if comedy's allowed within music anymore.
Across the universe, yeah.
Across the universe, very good, yeah.
Yeah.
That's good. We could do this again. We could do this. Pen A Lane.
Yeah, exactly. No chorus. You know? McCartney does it too. Beatles are kind of verse guys, I think. You know what? The verses are just so good you don't notice that they're also choruses. Hard Day's Night.
Yeah.
It's kind of like...
Well, it's opening with a chorus, really.
Yeah, I think they are choruses, though. Like, I think they're like...
Like Dancing Queen opens with the chorus. You think of it as the chorus.
That's a chorus, though. Yeah. But then there's a clear verse. Friday night and the lights are low.
Yeah, which is better than any chorus I've written ever.
Yeah. but whereas it's been a hard day's night, the verse is the chorus. They're just changing the game. They don't need verses.
No.
They don't need verses. There's no verses, actually.
There's no choruses.
They're just choruses.
It's just basically you're kind of in that bit, Matthew McConaughey in Interstellar. You're just kind of in that bit, or at the end of 2001: Space Odyssey. But it's just music, and it's just kind of you floating within it.
Yeah,
that makes sense.
Yeah.
If you think about it, it makes sense.
It does. I mean, it's cool.
Don't let me down.
There you go. That's a chorus.
Starts the song, though.
Yeah, but then there's a verse.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Sam Evian's pretty right, is what we're figuring out.
Let's just say he did get me thinking a bit about this, but I think we've come around. I think now I still say verse guy's a little harsh, but I guess I know where he's coming from.
But you know what it is? It's just the East Coast sort of visceral nature of the language and the way they use it. You would apologize for. You'd be like, you would talk about. You wouldn't go as far as to be like, I've got a leather jacket on. I'll stab you. He's a verse guy. Fuck it.
Yeah. Well, I also, I think it's more of a East Coast thing to call, to refer to Lou Reed as Lou.
Well, to refer to Tom as Tom.
I'm from New York kind of thing. I can, we're the same.
Yeah, we're the same kind of people. We're exactly the same.
But anyway,
find me.
All I'd like to say is this is all in good fun. And Sam, if you're listening, please come on. And what you'll find is that James and I we're very welcoming people, and I'm sure you'll be able to convince us of this pretty quickly.
Well, I mean, you're more Beatlesy than me, so you can kind of get into it, and you can do a Beatles challenge with him. But what you're saying is you think he might just have heard the Beatles.
I think he might have just discovered John Lennon. Right. Is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah,
it seems like.
Yeah,
but yeah, he's good. So keep checking out some of the new tunes. He might like Imagine, I think. Or it's possible that some of the ones with the big choruses he hasn't heard.
What about
Don't Let Me Down, All You Need Is Love,
Working
that kind of
Class Hero, verse guy.
Yeah, it's a ballad. It's an acoustic ballad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tough, isn't it? What about Cold Turkey, verse guy?
How about this one? Instant Karma, great chorus.
We
all shine on.
Yeah.
Huge chorus, Oasis level chorus.
Shine On is a big one. We got a new song called Shine On.
Yeah. They should have covered that one, Oasis.
Well, they kind of did as a career.
Yeah.
That's the entire career, I think.
Yeah. But the Beatles kind of My Sweet Lord, no chorus. Just kind of chorusy verse.
Everything about listening to things like My Sweet Lord's confusing, though. Everything's confused because it doesn't. You try and
make not a normal song.
You try and make a song. Have you ever? Okay, first of all, hands up anyone who's tried to ever record a song, because you think about My Sweet Lord as having this extreme slide guitar moment. It's sounds like
8 seconds long,
and it sounds like dog shit. But your memory of it is more impactful. I mean, the song's incredible.
I like when the harmony part comes in on the slide part. But
okay, well, do you where is it in your head? In the speakers?
Yeah, I haven't listened to it in headphones in some time.
You think of Will Breeze George. This is just it sounds like a DI'd double.
Spectre just really phoned it in on that one?
No, I think that's just probably the bravery of. It's also it's the track count. It's the way in which people approach music at the time. It's the same kind of thing that you've done when I've recorded with you, where you're like. I was thinking about this. Okay, we've probably got 20 minutes, so let's segue into Harvest, because that was the point of.
Are we actually going to do Harvest we've got now at this point?
Because it actually we've got 20 minutes and it works. Okay. Because this is actually kind of... So I listened to it on the way over... listen, I get on a train from Madrid, to Valencia.
Pack it in. Buy a train ticket. Take it up to Valencia.
Yeah, exactly. And I don't want to lose my train of thought because I have kind of things to say.
Sorry.
No, but what we were talking about just then, this kind of the like your memories of records and then how they were recorded, etc. Like Harvest, truly. Okay, so I've made music with you, and you're of the mindset which I love and I admire, and I also think it's correct. You know, you're leaving in these kind of pushes and pulls, this movement within music, which sometimes could even be construed as a mistake. You know, you're leaving it in because no one will notice. It doesn't matter. In fact, quite the opposite. It will create the music. That is what the music is. Listening to Harvest, having loved it as a teenager and as an adolescent, and listening to it maybe like I probably haven't listened to it front to back. I certainly, and this is kind of the whole point of this Neil Young stuff, is that we're listening without reading Shaky, without reading Rolling Stone reviews, trying to kind of really get to the meat of the bone on some of these records, not thinking about legacy. And I brought it up because my friends who I met in Mallorca, these are people I grew up with. They're extremely eloquent and erudite when it comes to... We all grew up on the same music, so we all got into Neil Young at the same time. We eschewed Oasis and the Stone Roses, much to my, sadness. And now, thinking back, and started putting cowboy boots on and growing our hair out and trying to be in CSNY.
Being the guy who Liam said has bad fashion.
Literally that guy. That's me.
You got fucking cowboy boots on.
Yeah, that's me. That was me, for sure. Yeah. Still is, potentially.
Yeah.
But I was with my friends Dom and Sam talking about it, and Tim. And I said, I've got to talk about Harvest. And everyone was like, it's fucking amazing, though, isn't it? Like, wow. And I was like, is it, though? And immediately, this is before I listened to it, Dom said, there is some shit on it, though, isn't there?
Yeah.
And I was like, I think there is. Like, and he was like, yeah, like, there's a world. And I was like, well, that's obvious.
Yeah.
That's obvious. But I was listening to it today and talking about this kind of like, you leave mistakes in. Or not you specifically, but you can have, Sam Evian probably does, you can have this mentality as a modern indie heritage revivalist to leave, I suppose, to focus more on what you think is like, focus on the like authenticity of the performance.
Feeling of it.
The feeling of it. And that's like, but the level at which Neil Young does that on his music is like something else, because it's a bad sounding record at times, and it moves around. Like I probably haven't listened to it with a critical gaze since I've actually produced music, and I probably should have listened to it a long time ago with that critical gaze, because it's really weird, that record.
Yeah, I mean, words like good, bad, weird,
of course.
Like, it's hard because it's like, I know what you're saying, but like, it's perfect for him,
Of course.
But that being said, I'm with you. Like,
but that's Neil. That's the whole thing.
Yeah.
It sounds like something. It sounds like something. And again, like all of this is to say that he's sublime.
Yeah. Of course.
It sounds like something I would never in a million years release.
Yeah.
I'd be like, there's no way. It sounds like I recorded this song like badly in a basement. Everything's weird. The drummer's overplaying, like it's like on this song. But he sees it in a different way. He sees music in a different way. He feels it in a different way.
Totally. Yeah, I just think that pound for pound, I don't think it's that good a record.
No, I agree with you.
Like I'm just kind of like, I don't really get the massive love for it in terms of like his iconic album or something. I guess because like the highs are really high.
Right.
Obviously the songs, the big songs, Heart of Gold, Old Man, and
Neil
obviously
Damage Done, I guess.
Oh yeah, I guess so.
Alabama's poignant.
Out on the Weekend and the title track Harvest are great. But like if you honestly, I was thinking about this today. Like, if you go through song for song, pound for pound, punch for punch with After the Gold Rush,
yes,
I think it wins every time.
Every time.
Like, I think, like, what's Tell Me Why on... If you go, okay,
Harvest,
Tell Me Why Out on the Weekend.
Yeah.
Tell Me Why... I'd probably pick Out on the Weekend, I guess, right?
Yeah.
But, like, Only Break Your Heart over Heart of Gold, I'd probably take Only Love Can Break Your Heart.
No, I'd take the Heart of Gold.
Okay, so that one's close. But, like, then you got, like, Don't Let It Bring You Down, Southern Man over, like, Words.
Well, no Southern Man over Alabama.
Yeah, either one. Yeah, either
Words Words doesn't even exist on that record to me. That's like him. Why is he doing a weird time signature? I don't need that. I don't need that from him.
And then you've got, if you were to take, say, There's a World and Man Needs a Maid and put it up against the two goofy ones, Till the Morning Comes and Cripple Creek Ferry, I would take the ditties because they're short, they're pleasant.
Yeah.
You know what? I don't need so many. I'm going to go out on a limb here. I don't need so many minor keys from Neil as are on Harvest.
What about...
You know what I mean? Words? What's with the fucking D minor and there's a world where... you know what I mean? It's
also,
like, keep it major.
What the hell's I'll go even further. What kind of a album track is Are You Ready for the Country?
Oh, that's shit. I've totally forgot. That's the one I don't even think about.
It's just, like, what is that?
Yeah. Like, if you...
That sounds like a bad Little Feat song.
Think about, think about this, like, pound for pound, Tonight's the Night. Think about Are You Ready for the Country versus, like, World on a String.
Oh, yeah, World on a String, for sure, yeah.
Like all these songs, like, it's like, even, like, Tired Eyes versus Needle and the Damage Done, or, like, Mellow My Mind versus Out on the Weekend. Like, they're better songs.
Yeah.
Like, it's just, like, a crazed record. But, like, and On the Beach is, like, the best example because it's actually like really strong tunes.
Yeah.
And it's got the Neil atmosphere vibe to it too. Yeah. But yeah, Harvest is kind of like, I don't know, like there's not much reason for me to ever put it on anymore. Like, and even I'll go back and say, like, even when I first got it, I felt this way. Like,
it's hard for me to quantify.
Out on the Weekend, I loved. Obviously.
Who's the drummer?
Isn't it Kenny Buttry?
Buttry needs to shut the fuck up, Tree, as far as I'm concerned, because it's at times there's a lot going on. I used to think there wasn't much going on, but it's weird what's going on. But maybe that's again, like our boy, our slide guy is crushing.
Oh, Ben Keith's amazing
is crushing on it.
Amazing on it. Yeah.
Brings a lot of sophistication to that record.
He saves a lot of... He makes a lot of the tunes.
Yeah.
Makes a lot of the tunes.
You know what? I didn't realize listening to Alabama...
Heart of Gold, that's kind of the best part of Heart of Gold.
Listening to Alabama... No, it's a beautiful song. That's a standard. It's a standard.
It's a great song.
It's a standard. Lyrically, it's a standard. Talk about Chris Christopherson. Like, what he does in that song is, like... He's got this chorus, which is, a universal chorus, and then he kind of translates it into these experiences he's had in his own life within the verses, which is really nice. He's also
Old
24 years old or something.
Those two back-to-back, Old Man,
Well,
Heart of
no,
Gold,
Ready for the Country's in the middle for no reason.
Is it?
I listened to it today.
What?
And I will tell you.
You must have a different version, because Ready for the Country on my LP...
Track 5.
I have a different version. I thought it was on, like, side 2.
Maybe there's a US, Canadian Spotify release. Maybe you got the Sean Lennon remaster.
Oh, no. Oh, yeah, you're right.
Yeah, it's horrible.
It must be because I skip it every time.
Skipped it.
You're absolutely right.
It's a horrible song. It doesn't do anything.
Look at this. Track listing's demented.
It is.
The sequencing is completely botched on this album.
Yeah, it is.
Look at this. Heart of Gold, Are You Ready for the Country? Old Man, There's a World. It's just like, give me something I can dig.
He sounds on There's a World like he's got a gun to his head. And he doesn't know why he's singing it.
There's a world. So keep fucking singing that.
Yeah.
So don't even.
Like, Janice's got a gun to his head. He's like, we're still doing this, motherfucker. Yeah. You think you got rid of this on the first record? I'm back.
I know. It could be his fault. Should we speed rank it just because
I don't want to talk about it on the next episode.
We're doing Time Fades Away next, by the way.
Which I also, by the way, for the people listening, is this going out as a public today episode? Is that what we're doing?
Yeah,
with it?
I think, you know what? I was going to say, I don't know if you're, you've got some, I'm down to just do a bunch.
I'm here now.
Yeah, if you want to just do another one tomorrow.
Tomorrow sounds good, yeah.
Yeah.
I miss you. I miss talking to you.
Yeah, I'll put this one. We could
you meant to say it
this
back.
one.
You meant to say it back. I said it to you.
I really miss you.
You don't have to wait till. I know you're going to call me after and say it. But
yeah, I know. I really do miss you. And I'm even going to come to Vancouver soon before my birthday because I want to see you and I want to do something. Vancouver. Vancouver.
Do you think I should hit? Okay, I'm going to hit drug dealer guy up. What's his name?
I'll send it. Michael Collins.
It sounds like he played in the Beats. That's like Paul Collins.
Sounds like a George Clooney movie. Michael Collins. This fall. George Clooney. Kevin Spacey.
Love Nespresso machines. You get them a lot more over here. I was thinking of getting one. Ditching my espresso machine for a Nespresso. Speaking of George Clooney.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, let's speed rank it.
Okay, also, we'll do Time Fades Away next. I know everybody wants us to, and I want to.
I don't not want to.
Yeah, no, I know. I'm just saying, I know you want to too, but...
the next 2 days are great for me, because then I go to Paris.
Yeah, let's just do 2 more.
Dos más.
Dos más. Vaya con Dios.
Where should I go to eat tonight? For just a little goofball kind of tapas?
I don't know.
I mean,
La Finestra, man.
Pizza.
Right
I've had a full pizza there before.
No, they're tiny.
I know they're tiny. They're like pequeño pizzas, but like it's...
There's a little... I don't remember the name of any place. I could tell you, if we were there right now, I could walk you to the place.
I came here last year. I had a kind of good time, so...
Harvest. Hangability.
It's high at times and then not at times. So it's like but also like 6. Everyone, when you put it on, is like, it's Neil Young. 6.
6.
It's a speed rank.
Technical. It's like the Barn stuff and like it's fine, but it's like Heart of Gold, the Nashville stuff. He recorded those in Nashville.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, with the Stray Gators, right?
Yeah, cool stories in music.
Cool story. We're trying to avoid those. I'll let the other guys do that.
Technical. It's not bad.
6, 7, even 6,
7, maybe
it's
tied
6.
with Gold Rush.
7.
Gold Rush is more technical, I think,
because they recorded it in a studio.
It's less slop.
It's really sloppy. It's a sloppy sounding.
Slopped up.
But
that's not bad for Neil.
No, it's not.
I love his slop more than anything.
But like, it's weird. Like Heart of Gold, vocals very high. Ready for the Country, can't hear. You know, it's not technical.
Sequencing error.
Also, it's a full LCR record. Drums most of the time are just kind of wide left for some reason.
That guy, Kenny Buttrey, since you say, I think it's him. You're right. He just can't fucking help himself, dude.
Fuck that guy.
She's so fine. Dung.
Oh, it's worse than that.
Why do you have to hit the kick on that?
It's worse than that. Well, you think you're fucking Steve Porcaro?
Yeah, right. Nice. You accented that line.
Yeah, we loved that you
really
did
helped the song a lot.
It really helped him out. It was perfect. Neil needed that because if you hadn't done it, no one would be into it.
It'd be so much cooler if it was like, she's so fine, she's in my mind, and he just did the double again and let Neil do the hook. That's the thing. You always have to hit the cymbal, add to the hook.
No.
Ooh, the change is coming up, you know. Anyway, love you guys, you drummers. Natural ability. Pretty high.
I was thinking, though, about, I guess it's like high, but also right place, right time a little bit. Like Needle and the Damage Done, listening to it today kind of annoyed me because I was like, I guess it is beautiful because it turns it around to just be him lamenting the loss of a friend.
Yeah.
Did Neil get fucked up?
Not really. I don't think so. Now and then is what I've heard.
But Alabama, it's annoying.
But natural, it's Neil Young Harvest. It's his
9,
peak.
Isn't it? 8 or 9?
It's 9.
8
yeah,
or
it's
9,
9. I think.
No, it's 8 because there's some bad stuff on it. Come on.
Yeah.
There's a world. Man needs a maid. That's Juvenalia.
It's his fault.
Ready for the Country. Birds or Words or whatever it's even called. Birds is after the Gold Rush, isn't it?
Yeah.
Even the juvenilia of Alabama of having an opinion on something you don't really understand, you know, like, is weird.
Yeah, I think that now that I think about it, like World on a String, dude.
That's
you
much,
know I lose, you know I win. Like those are
better.
Fucking badass songs.
Yeah,
like but like
New Morning, even like
sliding and playing dominoes.
Exactly. Left in and a right in.
It's like a bad song by the band. It sounds like an outtake.
I'm saying it does. It's like a Little Feat song.
If Levon was singing that, it might be good.
Yeah. So it's just an 8 for me.
Live perform. Yeah, 8's good. Live performance.
Not good.
The country stuff's okay. The other ones.
The strings shit. It's I guess a 6.
Well, they're playing it well. Probably it's sheet music. They're doing it. The symphony orchestra's performing it well.
No,
I don't know. 7 maybe.
7's fine, I guess. But we're just falling into the trap of Harvest here.
Yeah, but like the performances are good aside from the drumming. Yeah.
Well, he's amazing.
Ben Keith. Some good performances on
Toby
the
Keith.
singing. How about James Taylor on the banjo on Old Man?
Gitanjo.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Oh, that San Miguel looks good, dude. Fuck.
Got a few of them. I'm gonna go
so
out.
Cheap, €4 for a 12 pack or something.
It's a joke. We live in the wrong place. I mean, there isn't. Well, we don't. But when you hear there's elements of it where it just it's confusing. At our age, it's confusing. It's just purely confusing that you can get like. I don't want to go off, but it's like that I could just get on a train from Madrid to Valencia, which is like a 4.5 hour drive. It takes an hour and a half on a bullet train, basically, and it cost me $15. And it's like, I just was like having a beer and an espresso on it in a very civilized environment. It's very confusing sometimes where you're like, that's like literally like, if I tried to visit you, it would cost me $400.
Yeah, I know. It's insane.
It's closer.
You're totally right, yeah.
It's very confusing.
Well, please tell your friends about our podcast if you're listening so that James and I can get a place in Spain.
Yeah.
Sex Appeal, Harvest.
He's getting into it. No, he is getting hot.
Yeah, he is. Yeah, the album itself, though, it's pretty sexy.
It's better than After the Gold Rush.
It is. It's less stinky.
Oatmeal cover.
7?
Yeah, he's got his kind of
8, maybe.
He's got his long hair, flannel energy because he's starting to do that stuff live.
Did I see you down in a younger? It's pretty sexy.
It's pretty sexy.
It's kind of like James Taylor's sexy vibe. You know,
do you
like
think James Taylor would be regarded sexy still if he hadn't lost his
hottest cock in Hollywood? You always
John Mayer.
Now, but James Taylor back in the day.
Peak Taylor,
Jane, yeah. I think I think so.
Yeah,
I think he's a sexy guy. 8 for Harvest.
Yeah, I mean I'm boozed, so it's hard for me to say.
I think it's pretty sexy.
I'll tell you this, I'm boozed and I'm in a foreign environment where I'm by myself. I've been traveling on like I'm literally in a beat kind of environment and it didn't really move me that much on the train today. Like I should be moved by it, you know?
Yeah, well, throw in some Paco de Lucia and that's
I get stopped in Granada for looking like him. I walk around. People, they're worried. I'm the ghost of him. I was in Sacramonte. People, they keep they're throwing flowers at my feet there.
I'm going 7.
Okay.
7. Fashion, pretty good because that cover's really iconic.
It's a cool
album
cover.
Yeah, if you see it across a room, you know what it is.
Well, he paid for all that. This shaky cool stories in rock bullshit. He paid for it to have a different oatmeal thing.
7.
Sure, fine. It was meant to feel old when you touched it and all that.
Yeah, I know.
Effort was put in.
Business acumen, pretty high. Number 1 album probably or something, right?
Probably not.
Did well in the charts, I think.
First
Heart of
one
Gold,
that did
I think
well.
it must have been like a number 1 hit.
7. 8, 7.
Really? It's got to be the highest of all Neil's business ones.
Yeah, I guess so.
It's got to be the highest.
Yeah, but he didn't mean to do it, did he? He doesn't care.
I don't know, man. I think he might have on this one. Like, went to Nashville.
Sure.
Went to a proper studio.
Yeah.
Like, like, let's see here. Critical reception here. I just want to know this. Like, here we go. Boom. Listen to this. The album. Okay. Canada, #1. Australia, #1. Netherlands, #1. Norway, #1. Spain, #4.
Sorry,
UK,
guys.
#1. US, #1. I mean, this is a monster. #1 everywhere.
It's weird that it related that well to people, to me.
I know. Yeah. Let's go 8 or 8. I think
sure.
8.
It really does, though. It must. I don't want to read about it. I don't want to read about why, but it does surprise me. It does surprise me.
Yeah. Well, probably it has more to do with like Elliot Roberts and like his team, like making it big. Who knows?
Well, maybe people really at this point just needed someone to be honest.
Yeah, well, that we talk about that. It's that the year that changed music.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
How it was like Vietnam. Everybody was into the singer-songwriter. He was the singer-songwriter. He was,
guy. Him and Joni. I saw Joni today posted on Instagram. It really tripped me out. This is like as deep as cynicism can get. Joni Mitchell on Instagram, aka Brandy Carlisle, presumably, or whoever's decided to monetize Joni. Because she's probably got dementia. It's a Harper Lee situation. Like, there's no way Joni is behind this. Today on her Instagram, it's now's the time to decide which Joni you're gonna be for Halloween. And it was different eras of Joni Mitchell. Not including her pimp era, because that would, of course, be like politically incorrect, like the Don Juan one.
Black.
No one's going to go. No one's going to go as blackface Joni. So it was like, now is the time to decide which Joni you're going to be for Spirit of Halloween. You know, it's just like, leave her alone. She's avoided all this kind of stuff for 25 years, and Brandy Carlisle got through her door and found her, presumably painting, smoking cigarettes in a wheelchair or just like or something, and has convinced her to go online.
Yeah.
Leave her alone.
Eugene Landy.
It is a Eugene Landy situation.
Yeah.
Anyway, we need to finish the ranking, but we can talk about that more tomorrow because it really disturbed me. It does disturb me. It relates
to this too. Yeah. Innovation.
I guess like it has to be if it went to #1 and it's not that good.
Dylan already did it. With like Nashville Skyline and stuff.
It's like weirder than Dylan.
7.
Sure, I don't even know anymore, to be honest.
It's not that innovative to me.
I
but
wasn't
it's great.
moved, and that's maybe why it did so well. It's Neil being.
Yeah, Endurance.
You didn't listen to it though. Like it sounds weird.
Yeah, I did. I told you, Alex plays it all the time. I hear it once a week. It's the LP's there. She plays it once a week. A new version, reissue.
Innovation, I guess he's bringing in confessional singer-songwriting with Carole King, and it's kind of it's all that stuff. He's the kind of the pinnacle. He's the kind of eminence, of it.
Yeah. I guess so, but I think again, Crosby, Stills, Nash first album. That'd be the innovation.
But that's harmony. It's not confessional. There's nothing confessional about that at all.
I see what you're saying. Okay, 8.
He's writing songs from his perspective about old men being like him. No one's doing that stuff.
I gotcha. I hear you. Okay, sure. 8. Endurance. Probably high. 9.
Lives on, doesn't it? Yeah.
Yeah. 9.
Probably going to do well.
10?
9.
If any gets a 10, it's this one.
Maybe. Yeah, I guess so.
I think it's a 10.
Sure.
I think Harvest is a 10. Legacy. Not 10. Because look at what we're saying. I don't know. I've been
Endurance?
Look. I'm on the Discord. Like people, the people are not as convinced to how great it is. Neil people are like, yeah, it's not the top. I think the Legacy. I think Endurance.
I would say Endurance,
maybe Endurance
is 9.
Legacy.
Yeah, I'd say Endurance 8, Legacy 10.
Yes, exactly. Thank you.
No problem. Pada problemo. Sorry, no problemo. I don't know where I am.
Okay, I'll add it up here. Curious about this.
It's going to do okay.
8. Oh, yeah.
I think we might have overscored it.
Interesting. Very interesting, James.
Yeah.
The rankings don't lie, man.
Yeah.
Tied with After the Gold Rush.
I love
at
it.
75. As it should be.
As it should be.
As it should be. That's really interesting, and a lot of different numbers. Really different numbers here. Well, that's great. Okay, well, I'll have a great night, and let me know where you end up going, and
I'll just live story it.
Please.
Cool.
Talk to you tomorrow.
And if you do, and Johnny's putting this one up, so if anything goes wrong, you can blame him.
You can blame me.
All right, I'll send you everything now. Peace and love.
Bye.
Bye.